Good morning, children. This is the first part of your second poem, The Elementary School Classroom in a Slum. The first part contains a full and detailed analysis of the poem around 1.5 stanzas. Watch it and make notes on it and prepare for your examination with confidence. If you don't have subscribed my channel, subscribe it and press the bell icon. Then you will get the notification of the next video. Second poem, An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum, written by Stephen Spender. Look at this picture. This is a slum classroom. The poem describes the children and their destiny to study in such a slum classroom. Let us move on to the poem. Far, far from gusty waves these children's faces. At the beginning of the poem, the poet describes these children's faces. These children's faces are far away from the gusty waves. Gusty waves here means the energy of childhood. We know that children are so energetic and they are always enthusiastic. They want to move around always. But these children in the slum classroom, their faces don't have that energy, the children's energy in them. It is far, far away. The poetic device of repetition is used here by repeating the word far and far. Come to the second. Like rootless weeds. These children are compared with rootless weeds. The poetic device of simile is used to express, to describe the children's state there. They are something like weeds. Weeds means unwanted plants. Unwanted plants. And these unwanted plants have no roots at all. So, usually we know that the unwanted plants grow on their own without being cared for, totally neglected. So, these children grow up in the slum classroom without being noticed by anyone. They are neglected completely. The hair toned round their pallor. Pallor here means the pale face. Pale face. So their toned hair. Why do you think their hairs have this tone? Because these children are malnourished. These children are the representatives of malnourishment. So their hairs have thus tone in them and they fall over their pale face. I will show you one picture to explain what is this pale face. Look at this picture here. Without readiness, his eyes is visible. This condition of our face is known as pallor. So most of the children in the classroom have this pallor face. Next line. The tall girl with her weighed down head. So from here, the poet moves on to describe individual children in the classroom. First he takes a tall girl with her weighed down head. The reason for the weighed down head of this tall girl should be she has to bear the burden of poverty and hunger. This may be the reason why the girl's head is bent down. Look at the next picture. The paper-seeming boy with rat's eyes. Paper-seeming here is a metaphor. Metaphor for a thin boy. As thin as a paper. The second boy in the classroom is as thin as a paper. A human can't be like that, so the poet uses here the poetic device of hyperbole, comparing this thin child as a paper. And with rat's eyes, the paper-seeming boy with the rat's eyes. This is the second child in the classroom. The paper-seeming boy is another metaphor for the poverty of these children. He is deprived of all the amenities of life, all the basic amenities of life. Actually, he is timid like a rat. He is timid like a rat and always searching for food and security. He is always searching for food and security like a rat because he leads a life of anxiety. That is the metaphor of the thin boy represented in the poem. Come to the next. The stunted unlucky hair of twisted bones reciting a father's gnawed disease. The third boy is a stunted unlucky hair of twisted bones. A handicapped like child. His growth was stunted, blocked. His growth was stopped at that age. And he was really the unlucky hair of his twisted bones, reciting a father's gnawed disease. He is reciting his father's gnawed disease. I will show you what is the condition of this gnawed disease with the help of a picture. Look at this hand. This is an example for gnawed disease. This stunted unlucky hair of twisted bones reciting a father's gnawed disease. He has inherited not only the disease from his father, he has inherited poverty and the deplorable life of his father. Come to the next line. His lesson from his desk. Yes, he is also learning his lessons from the same classroom. But the question arises in the poet's mind. The paradoxical question that arises here is, can these children learn their lessons with a hungry stomach? Look at the next line. At back of the dim class, one unnoted, sweet and young. Then the poet takes the reader's attention towards the end of the class. There is one sweet, a tender boy. With his eyes live in dream. He does not engage fully in the classroom. He dreams What does he dream? Of squirrel's game. Yes, he has been watching the squirrel's game just outside his classroom, or it is his dream. The squirrel's game in tree room. Other than this means other than the business of the classroom. He engages himself in his dream, and in his dream he sees the squirrel's game in the tree room. Now let us go and watch the squirrel's game in the tree room along with the child in the classroom. Look at the squirrel's game that is going on in the tree room. Tree room here means the hollow of a tree, where the squirrels go in and come out. This is the game he dreams in the classroom. The sweet and young boy is lost in his dream here. His dream has a significance in the poem because it brings out a contrastive picture between his dream and his reality. He lives, or he is engulfed in the slum classroom. But what he sees in his dream, a joyful enjoyment of the squirrel in the tree room, in the tree hollow. He wants to be like the squirrel, wants to lead a life of nature, but he can't. Come to the next stanza. After describing all the children in the classroom, the poet gives us a picture of the classroom. On sour cream walls, donations, Shakespeare's head, cloudless at dawn, civilized dome riding all the cities, build flowery Tyrolese valley, open-handed map awarding the world its world, and yet for these children, these windows not the map, their world. Look at the stanza here. On sour cream walls. Sour cream walls here means the pale cream, because it has been painted for a long time. Now it got grayed. Sour cream walls. Some donations can be seen on these walls. Donations means an act of charity, an act of charity. Influential people have donated certain gifts into the class. One among them is Shakespeare's head, the famous literary figure of England. Shakespeare, his photograph is in the classroom. Next, cloudless at dawn. A cloudless morning, the sunrise, another donation in the classroom. Then civilized dome riding all cities. Civilized dome here means the city buildings. The city buildings, sometimes with half arched or half circled tops, like that. They are there. And build flowery Tyrolese valley. We can take it as different or as a single image. Build flowery means bell-shaped flowers. The picture of bell-shaped flowers is in the classroom. Another donation is Tyrolese Valley. It is in Austria. It's a beautiful valley without any ice. Then open-handed map. It's something like our atlas, open-handed map. All these are the donations in the classroom. This open-handed map awarding the world its world. It shows the children how does this world look like. You can find each and every countries and places in the map. So the map, the open-handed map is awarding people its world. And yet for these children, these windows, not this map, their world. Now let us visit to the classroom where the poet describes several donations that are kept on their walls. Let us go there, watch and come back to the poem. Let us move. Look at this picture. This is Shakespeare's head that is kept on the school wall. And this is the second picture, a cloudless dawn. And this is bell-shaped flower. And this is the Tyrolese Valley in Austria. And this is the dome riding along the city. And this is the open-handed map awarding the world its world. But this map is not the world of these children. Their world is what they can see through the window inside this classroom. Look at the sour cream walls. Sour cream walls of the slum classroom. Now we can move back to poem.